have those distractions because it is there to serve you. And I'm just putting it out there, Steve. You might not agree with it, but you have to feed the body too, just like you have to feed the soul, just like you have to feed the mind, you have to feed the heart. All of those components, need to be honored and respected. And, if you see sometimes people, they go on a very strict diet or whatever, and they change the chemicals in their bodies too fast, that's not, it's not a good thing either, So think of things as a process and a journey, and keep always striving to be as good as you can be, as healthy as you can be, and as balanced as you can be. It's
Fantastic.
a process.
So Danielle, I want to thank again, and I'm not ready to go because we don't get featured in Stickum very often. We get featured on Blog TV at tons, but Stickum is kind of a special place for us, and we have 983 viewers right now, and 77 people are in our chat room watching us talking about this. So if you don't mind, I'll keep you on for a few more minutes. So I wanted to have this other conversation with you, which is, I feel that almost anything. Okay, so here we go. Technology is trying to get the best of us, but guess what? We're not going to get upset. We're not going to freak out. We're just going to see what we can do. Now Danielle went bye-bye.
Are you there?
Are you there?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I'm here.
I'm here.
Can you press on your video so at least we have one of them going?
Oh, if I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, just put your cursor in there.
Full screen? No, that's not it.
Into the box. No, just
Oh, there.
click on the video. Yeah, there you go. It's coming up.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Okay, you're back. Thank you.
Oh,
okay.
Great.
So I wanted to have this conversation about, and that's how I want to lead into some of your tools. So in a way, and if you could turn down, somehow you must be at our site because I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. So okay, it's fine now. Okay. So Val Brawl from Stickum is asking me, do you ever like to be in control? What a funny question.
Yeah.
I used to love control. When I came to this country, I actually grew up in a communist country.
Oh.
So I have a contrast to speak about my journey and speak about what we have here in America. And what we have here in America, even with all the problems that we are having right now, is 1,000% better than what I experienced when I was living in a communist country.
Right.
So I think you froze on a second, so if you could reconnect would be great, because they might take us off if we don't have a video running.
I don't know how to do that, Steve. If you can help me,
just do the same thing. Put your cursor in the box and restart the video. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You're back on.
Okay, good.
Okay, so what I wanted to say is that if we consider that everything on this planet that human beings have created ever is a game, including life itself. It's a game.
Mm-hmm.
Because people just get together and create these games, and we take it so seriously. Mm-hmm. You know, I used to take corporate life so seriously because senior management was really into it, and they were really serious, and they hardly ever smiled, and they were just significant, and they were into control, you know, money, and being forceful. And I used to like that when I was not awake and I was not conscious, because I was like them. and
part of your journey.
Yeah, that was part of my journey. And if you ask me the question, Danielle, would you do anything differently? I would say, no, I wouldn't do anything differently. I would do exactly the same thing, because by doing exactly the same thing would get me to where I am right now, which is a beautiful place to be.
Yes.
And I gladly pay the price that I had to pay to get here.
Right.
And I would do it again. So if you consider that everything on the planet is game, including life itself, then we may agree that there has to be rules and there has to be tools. And because every game has tools and every game have rules, and if you don't know them, you can't play it.
Exactly. So, right. Yeah.
So since we've been talking about this beautiful thing that you brought to today's discussion, which is our natural intelligence and on inherent wisdom, let's talk about the rules and the tools of self-development. Like, you have some tools in your practice that people can use to develop themselves. So what are they?
Well, I think that the most important tool is self-awareness. So we have to start with understanding ourselves, and that's where I know personality theory deals with, you know, the human side of interacting with others, but it provides us with a framework that helps us objectify the interactions with other people. Then let's say we have an interaction that we aren't particularly crazy about, then that's feedback for us to kind of learn, how am I going to deal with this? Will I, you know, speak, or will I choose to walk away, or whatever? So that's the game, as far as I'm concerned, is the dynamism of our own life when we have to live on a planet with other people. Information is coming at us all the time. What are we doing with this information? How can we use this information for our own personal development, and especially a spiritual development, you know, because if somebody pulls us down into some negativity, that's information for us. So, you know, the tools that I teach are, you know, ways to kind of look at these events, analyze them, and then make the conscious decisions on how you want to go forward, you know, with that particular person, that event, or that team, or that project. So you're always doing it consciously. So personality, self-understanding, you know, using personality, using some assessment. I was surprised, for example, in January I did sort of a life process thing for myself and thought, you know, well, you know, you have the mental side, the social side, the physical side, and you have the spiritual side. And to my amazement, when I did my own analysis, I found the spiritual side had the smallest number, and I was quite surprised. You know, I was actually at a meditation retreat when I did this analysis, so I said, how come? And so what I realized was that my basic self loves to travel. I'm a traveler. I like being on the road. I like discovering. But Bill and I weren't traveling, and so something within my own spirit wasn't being addressed, and I didn't have a clue until I did some assessment. And once I became aware of that, I said, my mission, I put on a little mission statement. I said, you know, what can I do to share my gifts and tools and skills and my experience in a broader world, and, you know, travel around and share what I know with others, because, you know, why would I have done this 35 years of self-discovery, you know, just for the pleasure of knowing myself, you know? Not a bad thing, but, you know, it's,
not a bad thing.
Yeah, you know, to kind of transcend the, you know, just the self-development, but to share, you know, these wonderful things that have helped me feel so much more alive. And the caller said, you know, do you feel like you need to be in control? And I thought that was a wonderful question, because if we go back to your word homeostasis, it's not that we need to control things around us, but we want to create a balance within ourselves. And in some ways you could almost put the word control there, because if we're not at the dials of, you know, making these adjustments, who is? You know?